Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on So Tell Us Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of So Tell Us Time with Troy and Trevor Howard. Now, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, you're probably noticing that Trevor is not here. So unfortunately, Trevor was sick this week, so he asked me to do the podcast by myself. So it'll just be me today, but I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun together. Here we go. So what we're going to be talking about today is thanks for the lemons. Not thanks for the lemonade. Thanks for the lemons. So in life, most of us do everything we can to avoid hard times or hard things, right? We want our lives to be easy, full of sunshine and rainbows and unicorns, and we're upset when the world hands us lemons, right? When we have those trials and tribulations, we're like, oh man, why is this happening to me, right? But guess what? As entrepreneurs, we did not pick the easy path. If we wanted the easy path, we would have just got a degree, we would have got a job, in corporate America, and we would have put our head down and we'd work for 40 years, and that's what we would do, right? Now, I'm not saying anything bad about people that are doing that. That has its own challenges, and that's a great path for certain people. But as entrepreneurs, we usually don't fit into that path. That's not what we're looking for in life. So we pick a path that's a little bit harder. We're not picking the safe path. We chose to go out on our own and build something for ourselves and our families by the sweat of our own brow. And we walked away from that societal safety net, and we risked everything to start our businesses. So when you do that as an entrepreneur, you can't expect, just sunshine and rainbows all the time. There's going to be struggles, there's going to be challenges, and then we're going to talk about how we can be thankful for those lemons that we get. Now, you might be saying to yourself, why would I be thankful for the trials and tribulations? Why would I be thankful for the problems in my life and in my business? But there really are reasons why we should be thankful. So let's talk about this. First I want to talk about a sword. Now, there's a bunch of shows out there on TV now, where they talk about Forged in Fire and things like that, where they show you how they make swords. And if you've ever watched how a sword is created, basically they take metal and it's folded over and it's beat down with this mallet, and they're just slamming, just pounding on this metal, flattening it out. And then they fold it over again, and they beat it down again and again and again. And they just continue to do this process over and over and over again, right? And all of this is done under intense fire, right? So in order to create a sword that is nearly unbreakable, it has to be beat again and again and again. It has to be folded over, right? And it has to be just heated up to an extreme temperature. But when that's all said and done, when all that punishment is over, you have a sword that's nearly unbreakable, right? And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about being forged in the fire. So how does that relate to our business? Well, let me share a story with you guys. Some of you may know this, but a lot of you probably do not. But my first career was not in technology. I wasn't an entrepreneur. In fact, I went to school and I got a degree in aeronautics, and I went through flight training, and I became a commercial airline pilot. So, and I want to talk about that a little bit. So it wasn't easy, right, to do that. It was a hard path. I had to get through school, I had to get my degree, I had to get through flight training, and I was in a program, a very specialized program, where 50% of the people that started the program failed out of the program. And then of those 50% that actually graduated the program, only about 50% of them got a job with the airline. So it was a very competitive program and very hard to get through. And I, was forged through that fire and became a great pilot, and I did get a job with the airlines. Now, unfortunately, right in the middle of all of this training, 9/11 happened, and the industry was rocked. The aviation industry and commercial airline industry was rocked. So that was another fire that I had to go through of, wow, a lot of people have been laid off, and it's going to be even harder to get this job as an airline pilot. And luckily, I did get that job, and I did become an airline pilot. And you're probably going, well, that sounds awesome. You got what you wanted, right? But the fire didn't end there. I was able to fly commercial jets. I was based out of Phoenix, Arizona. I flew a $60 million jet and flew it all around the country, all around the United States, Mexico, Canada. And I really enjoyed that job. But that wasn't where I was going to end up, right? The world handed me a lemon, and I ended up getting kidney stones. And one of the rules, federal laws, when it comes to aviation and commercial pilots, airline pilots, is that if you have a kidney stone in your kidney, you cannot fly. And I had a stone that was embedded in the wall of my kidney, and it was stuck there for 2.5 years. So I went from getting, my dream job of being an airline pilot to all of a sudden having no job, no income, no insurance because of a little stone in my kidney. And it was devastating, right? And most people are like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. Like, what did you do? And what I did was I got back up, and I went to work, right? I couldn't fly an airplane anymore while I had that stone in my kidney, but I could do something else. And what I did was, luckily, while I was flying, my dad, my brother, and I had been building the company that we own today. And so even though I lost what I thought was my dream job, I ended up getting one of the best things that's ever happened in my life. I look back now on those lemons that I was given, and I was able to form a company with my dad and my brother. I was able to work with them on a daily basis and build those relationships and those friendships between us that never would have been built if I was off flying around the country, in jets every single week. So what started out as probably some of the worst lemons you could possibly give an airline pilot ended up being the sweetest lemonade for me in my life. And that's what I want you to think about. Because if you look at those challenges in your life, those hard things that you've gone through, most likely you came out a better person on the other side. Or in your business, if you went through a challenge with your business, when you solved that challenge, when you got through that challenge and you made it to the other side, your business was stronger. Your business was better, right? So let's talk about some of the, trials that your business or, so basically this is what your trials in your business or your life are doing for you. I want you to think about the positive side of it for a minute here, right? And I know that's hard to do because when you're in the middle of a trial, you're like, this is horrible, this sucks, and I just want it to end. But there are some positives, so let's talk about those. So when you're going through a trial in your business or your life, here's what they are doing for you. They're teaching you what to do and what not to do in your business, right? Those are those learning moments. When you try something new in the business and it fails miserably, right? You can look at that as like, well, I totally failed. And, and this hurt my business. Or you can look at it as, you know what? I tried this, it didn't work, and now I know that doesn't work, so I can move on to the next thing that's going to work for my business, right? So those trials teach us what we should be doing or what we shouldn't be doing. It might be that maybe you were doing something really good in your business, and then you kind of made some changes because you're like, oh, things are different now. I'm going to change my business a little bit. And then those things didn't work. And you're like, man, I really need to go back to what I was doing, what was successful in my business, right? So you can learn those lessons. Another lesson you can learn is that basically you are being battle tested so that you don't break at the first sign of adversity. Think about that sword, right? if you don't take that sword and you don't take it through all of those folds again and again and beat them flat, when you go out to battle with that sword, it's going to break the second it gets hit. And you don't want that to happen to you or to your business. So every single trial you're going through, when you make it out on the other side, you're a little bit stronger, right? You have more wisdom, more knowledge, and you're going to be able to face the next adversity better than you did this one. The other thing it teaches you is that you need to get back up when you get knocked down. And I love to think of this makes me think of the movies Rocky. Think about all the Rocky movies. Rocky got knocked down over and over and over again, right? I mean, it seems like he lost more than he won, right? I mean, seems like he would just lose round after round after round, getting knocked around. But the key is he always got back up, right? He persevered and he won. So every time, life gives you these lemons and you make that lemonade, you're getting back up. And guess what? The next time it's going to be easier to get up, and the next time and the next time. So you're learning how to get back up when you get knocked down. And those are some of the greatest lessons are learned from failure. And I want you to think about that for a second, because again, we want to be just uber successful right from the very beginning, never make a mistake, and everything's perfect. But some of our greatest lessons are learned in our failure, when we did it wrong, and now we learned how to do it right. So don't be afraid of those failures, right? We're all going to fail. Heaven knows that Trevor and I, we have failed in businesses before, right? We've made mistakes, but the key is we got back up and we made the change and we persevered and we found success after that. So whenever you get knocked down, whenever you have a trial, the first thing you should be asking yourself is, what can I learn from this that will make me better? All right? And most importantly, those trials teach you gratitude for the good times. And that's really important, because a lot of times in business, we get so focused on the business that when we have a good time, when we're in those good times and things are going good, we forget to enjoy those good times, right? So when you get knocked down and you get back up and you figure it out and you know what you need to do different, be grateful for those moments, right? Be grateful for that knowledge that you've gained, and then get to work. All right, so this is going to be a quick podcast today, but here's your homework. So if you're going through a tough time right now in your business, what I want to tell you is get back up, stand strong, and you can get through this. You can do it, right? And you can learn from it, and you're going to be a better business owner when you get through this. So just get back up and stand strong and get through it, all right? Now, if you're enjoying the lemonade right now in your business, if things are going really well, I want you to be grateful. I want you to take a second to enjoy it this week and realize how good it is. And then I want you to take a look into the future and start preparing for that next battle, right? Because as entrepreneurs, we always know there's another battle just down the road that we're going to face. And the more we can prepare now for that battle, the better and the quicker we're going to get through it. So enjoy it. Enjoy the good time right now, but don't just sit back and relax too much, right? Start prepping for that next battle so that you can get through it faster and easier. All right, everyone, I want to thank you for being with us today here at So Tell Us Time. And again, we'd love for you to, if you've learned something today, we'd love for you to share this with your friends, with your family, anybody you know that needs this information and needs this message. And again, they can find us anywhere that you're looking on YouTube, on any of the podcast channels. You'll find us there on Audible. Anywhere you can think of, they can find us and listen to us. So we appreciate you getting out there and sharing that. And we just want to tell you to have a sensational week and get out there and crush it.